Videos not long now till the competition starts, and the four of us are certainly very excited. A terrific panel alongside me today. Martin Chapman, known as Lofty amongst us at Star Sports, is here, and Phil Donaldson from the Racing Post, who is a very shrewd anti-post tipster. And Patrick Janssens is the trainer of the leading English contender for this year's Star Sports Derby, Bocco's Do Me. Thank you for joining me, guys. We're all really excited, I know that. Lofty, do you want to start by telling us about some of the English contenders that are at the top of the betting?
Well, so our leading English contender in the betting would be actually Bocco's Do Me, which we'll come on to, I dare say, with Patrick later on. You know, he needs no introduction. I know ran him a Derby last year as a very inexperienced dog, and since then he's come out and won the Sussex Cup and, you know, shown his pace around home. He'll stay the 500 and a little bit more. The 500 metres is probably his ideal trip. He's 16 to 1 in our market. He's the shortest priced English dog. Deanridge Sirius, who again come from Ireland last year, recently in the Puppy Cup final there, rather, at Shelbourne, you know, and he's been laid out for this derby. I think we know that from the liabilities we got for him. He's in next at 16 to 1. They'll be coming to Roxanne Christoph after this has been filmed. He did run in the 3 steps final at Sheffield and then goes out again. But you know, broke the track record on his UK debut around Sheffield. That takes him doing over 480. Then clocked a ridiculous time after coming off the pace last time. Now over 500. He's clearly a really fast dog. Go look at them a line. Deanridge Rapids are next in the betting. Another dog again we've got liabilities for. He's been, say, come over from Ireland. Again, been flying around in trials. And then we look down to dogs like Bubbly Magnum, who probably lacks a bit of experience maybe for the Derby, but been running around Romford and looks ill suited by Romford and looks far more suited by Sheffield, by Nottingham rather. And then the next one will be Foreign Rebel, who again I think might lack a bit of experience, but his trial times have been tremendous around Hove, but he's been very, very lightly raced. And again, I think at the price he is now, he's plenty short enough in the market.
Well, let's get Patrick's thoughts on Bocco's Do Me, because I interviewed you for Star Sports a few weeks ago now, and it really struck me how much you think of this dog. You said that you don't think, as a trainer, you've ever had a dog really in your hands that could truly win the Derby, but this year you have.
Yeah, he's a very, very fast dog. He's a bit draw dependent, you know. I mean, but for actual speed, he's very, very fast, and I think he's good enough to win a Derby, but we need a bit of luck with the draws.
How does he win it? Because his back straight pace, is that his biggest weapon?
It's his biggest weapon. He's got very good early pace as well. His first 3 strides are average, but then he goes sort of in overdrive. Now he goes to the left of the rails and he runs a very good first and second bend, and from 2 to 3 he's very quick, and you know, normally he just hangs on sort of by he stays 500 metres well. Yeah, I'm very happy with him. He had 2 trials around Nottingham now. The first one was a bit disappointed, but we knew he needed that run anyway. Then he found 30 spots in the second trial, and I think he's absolutely bouncing. The dog is a really good, healthy, and he's very fit.
There's been a lot of debate about him and how well he handles Nottingham. What do you think of him at Nottingham?
Yeah, I think he's all right. Listen, he never won at Nottingham. Never. If you look at his record, his poorest record is at Nottingham. But then you can forgive him, because really last year he was only 20 months old and we put him in a Derby. What wasn't really that fair on him, but it gave him a lot of experience. He showed a lot of speed. He got to the 3rd round, he got knocked out. You know, he went back there for the Puppy Classic. He got knocked out in the 1st round from Trap 4. But I think he's a better dog now. He's more experienced. He won round Hove, the Sussex Cup. He won that very well, and you know, fingers crossed.
He's a lovely, just stunning looking greyhound as well, Bocco's Do Me. But while we're talking about English contenders, we should touch on the rest of your team. Lentz and Whelan goes for you, and it's probably the outsider of your 3, yeah. I would guess. But still City Cup winner up. He's still a good dog. He's progressed a lot in your hands, hasn't he?
He is. He finished 2nd in the Steel City Cup, finished 4th in the Yarmouth Derby. He's a very good, genuine little dog. Is he quick enough? Probably not. But listen, the quickest don't always win. He's always there or thereabouts in the first 3, and that's what you want to be all the time. And if you're all the time in the first 3, you can make the final. You never know then.
You've also got East Anglian Derby winner KILARA Lion, who's still relatively new to your kennel, but I think he's overpriced, 80 to 1 with Star Sports.
Yeah, I think he is. He's very, very game, and the thing with him is definitely he loves Nottingham. If you look at his record at Nottingham, it's very good. Yeah, he trialled the other day, not been there for a while, but I think he'll come on a lot. He won the Yarmouth Derby, I think, in great style, you know what I mean, the way he come up the home straight, stays 500 metres well. I think another one who runs a great bend, and I think they're so important at Nottingham, because them bends there can catch you out, and he races bends really, just like Do Me does, and I think he's too big at 80 to 1.
I do, definitely. I should touch as well on Bocco's Doomy. The first round draw didn't work out that well for you, did it? You've got KILARA, Icon and you in session in the race, both on your inside as well.
Yeah, I think the draw is really the wrong way round. One wants to be in 3 and 3 wants to be in 1, but it is what it is. Let's hope he gets a run, and if he gets a run, I think he has to be good enough to finish in the first 3.
Definitely a race for us to look forward to. Phil, what are you liking in terms of English contenders?
Looking at the English, obviously we'll touch on Irish later. I think it's a very equally divided competition. I think the Irish squad is smaller but will hold their own. But I think we've got some real useful greyhounds in the English side. Obviously Patrick's dog, Bocco's. If this was at home, he'd probably be favourite for the competition. But as Pat says, he's pace and power. He's not so draw dependent as he used to be. So for me, at 20 to 1 or whatever price he is, come post time, he's a player. I do fear for Star a little bit with Deanridge Sirius. He's a dog that did the sprint clock at Shelbourne as a very young greyhound. I think he was in the juvenile Derby final. He's extremely fast. So the top end, I think both of those go a long way. I think around the middle of the English list, there's 1 or 2 dogs that I'd be keen to keep an eye on. The likes of GONZO, Judy Bateson's dog, obviously won the Gold Cup at Monmore. Likes a draw near the outside, which could be an advantage. I think definitely a good competition dog. I like at reasonable prices Higher Boyo for Mark and Hayley Keithley.
40 to 1, yeah.
Yeah, maybe shades of higher, but he's a dog with great early pace. He's got the draw in track 1 in the first heat, albeit there's loads of speed in that heat. But I could see him maybe going a long way for connections. But you can keep going down the list as you did with KILARA Icon. There's so many dogs at nice prices. There's some good Irish dogs that now with English trainers like WAIKIKI, Savannah Cody, who's new in Cody. You can go through the list, but I was going to throw one in at a bit of a price as well, Julie. We all know how good Kevin Boone is as a trainer in getting dogs through competitions, and he's got a dog called DARBYS Ranger who's come over and joined him recently. He's around 80 to 100 to 1, Lofty will tell me, but he's got loads of speed and might just be a bit of a dark horse. Could go a long way for Kevin in the competition.
Well, okay. Throw in a bigger price one that you fancy, Lofty.
At a real big price, I actually was very keen on a dog of Nathan Hunt's called BALLYARD RICKI, but he's drawn the toughest of all heats, and he was very impressive at Central Park when he won a maiden there, missed the break and then showed a ridiculous early place in the corner. Then won his first look around Nottingham last week in the trial stake. I'm not sure the trial stakes have been that informative, but he's got a real hot heat. Another dog, again, one of our big liabilities, a Blue Tick George, spent the first part of his career going around Harlow and Crayford and Romford, not looking totally suitable at any of those tracks, to be honest. He's gone to Central Park the last 2 Sundays and clocked real fast times over the 500 there. And he's had a couple of looks at Nottingham as well, and it could be a dog just coming back to himself. I know he had a massive reputation when he first came over here, and again, if the Derby would have come back in June when it was meant to be, he wouldn't have been a runner, but he seems to be just coming right now, and he's one of our big losers as well, but I think he can run a big race at a fairish price too. It's around 50 to 1.
Bigger price. I quite like WAIKIKI Lad for Ted Soppett. He's really happy with this dog at the moment, Phil.
Yeah. Well, Ted, he joined Ted, I think, at the turn of the year, and he ran in the juvenile at Sheffield. I think he chased home Ice on Fire. He's been running in competitions. He has got loads of speed, that dog. It's just whether he will go all the way through a competition without getting a tough draw and getting found out. But because he lacks maybe just that real dash to the bend that could put you in trouble at Nottingham. But yeah, I wouldn't rule him out. He's a really nice dog.
And you think there's a bit of a forgotten dog as well, don't you, at a bigger price?
Yeah, I think that Antigua Romeo for Mark Wallace, he ran very well in the Steel City Cup. He had withdrawn through an injury, and then he had another injury. But after the lockdown, I thought he ran quite well at Romford. He just stumbled at the start, and I think he's trialling at Nottingham, and yeah, I think he's a very much improved dog for Mark. 66
to 1 for Antigua Romeo. So there we go. That gives you a little rundown of the English contenders. Hopefully, there's a Derby winner amongst them. Maybe Bocco's Doomy.